Welcome to the BJX 70 show. I'm your host, Brandon Jackson, and we got some things to talk about. Some things happened over the weekend. Some very interesting players got into the game over the weekend. But before we get into it, just want to say like the video, subscribe to the channel, share, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. But we gotta talk about it. We're gonna talk about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns today. But before we do that, just a quick recap of Brandon's bets. It was a 2 and 3 week, not my best week. This, a two and three is as bad as it gets around here. So if you're tailing the bets, didn't come through like I wanted to this week, but if 2 and 3 is the worst it gets, it could be much worse. You could go elsewhere and get much worse. So I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you tailing the bets, but let's recap for the people that weren't here, people that didn't watch, people that didn't bet. We had Bills -5.5 versus the Bucks. I said Josh Allen. Well, I said that I wasn't gonna say Josh Allen was gonna be super soldier Josh Allen. And me not saying it meant that it came true. So he went off. Baker Mayfield, not a great performance. The Bucks offense in general not great from what I saw. Sean Tucker went crazy, but yeah, from basically the box score doesn't look like they did too much. I haven't. I'm full transparency. I was at this Browns game. Didn't really see much of anything else happening until I got home for Sunday Night Football. Not even gonna lie to you. So this whole episode basically is going to be about the Browns. But yeah, let me get through the rest of these bets. Recap: Niners -3 against the Cardinals. That one seemingly was good all day. As soon as it started, Ravens -7.5 against the Browns didn't hit. We'll talk about that in depth. Chiefs -3.5 against the Broncos. Maybe I shouldn't be betting the Chiefs so much. you know, we might have to reassess looking at next week's lines. We're probably still going to pick them, but maybe we'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss. And then the Lions +2.5 at the Eagles. They stopped them on fourth down what 6 times. That's a recipe to get beat all day every day. So it is what it is. Didn't come through. 2 and 3 week, 34-21 overall. Still elite, still over 60%. You know, we'll bounce back. We always do. We always bounce back. So I'm not too worried about a 2 and 3 week. I'll take it. But why we're here, what we're gonna talk about. Shedeur Sanders got into the game on Sunday. I was there. I was present. And when it first happened, when he was first jogging, running onto the field, it was kind of electric. Kind of electric. The team came out of halftime. I didn't even clock it. I didn't even clock it. I didn't know what was happening. Team came out. I saw Shador throwing the ball around, warming up, but I'm like, nope, nope, nothing too crazy. He just warming up, getting his arm ready just in case he needs to go win. But I'm fully expecting Dylan Gabriel to go back in the game. And then my wife clocks it. She's like, Dylan Gabriel isn't out here. And I said, oh, damn, he isn't out here. And then I look at Shador, and the cold weather jacket comes off, and I see him getting ready with the offense, and I'm like, he's he's about to go in. I'll fire off a tweet real quick. He's about to go in. Um, and whole crowd's excited, everybody's excited, wondering what's gonna happen. And he proceeded to go into the game and go 4 for 16, 47 yards, I think it was, with an interception, a couple of sacks. Unbelievably bad performance. And, I'm not gonna act like I'm not disappointed, but I thought it would be obviously I thought it would be better, but this was definitely in the range of outcomes when when we talk about Shedeur Sanders and what could possibly have been. And it happened. This was worse. This was worst case scenario. With my bet, it was -7.5 Ravens. They won by 7, so they did the max amount that they could without covering. Shador Sanders gets in the game. I'm lucky enough to be there, and he shits the bed. I still had a good time. It was a fun environment. Cleveland Brown Stadium is always crazy. It was fun being there. But yeah, I really I really don't know what to say because I haven't watched the all 22 yet. I'm recording this. It's Monday night. I haven't had time to watch the all 22 because I was at the game and came home, watched Sunday night football, went to bed. I do have a job, so I went to work. I clocked into work, so I haven't had time to really see what happened and how bad it really was. I had no desire to listen to what other people were going to say about what happened because it I know it's going to be negative. I know what the stat line looked like. I know how bad it looked. I was there in person. But so I had no desire to listen to what I already knew happened, but I will go and watch the all 22. It's possible that I break it down on the channel, break it down like I did the preseason, the Eagles preseason game. It's possible I do that. I'm not promising that I will do that, but it's possible that I will here on the channel. Um but yeah, obviously bad performance. And the biggest talking point that's come out of this is that, Shador didn't take any first team reps leading up to this. And let me tell you guys something. Let me explain how real high level football works. And many actual NFL players and NFL backup quarterbacks have already come onto social media and let you guys know what it works, how it works. And if you haven't seen them, let me do you the favor of explaining it to you if you don't know. Backup quarterbacks in the NFL during the regular season do not get any reps with the first teamers or the second teamers. All that game prep goes to the starter for the majority of the NFL. If you're a backup quarterback, you hopefully You get some scout team reps going against your team's defense, but you are never going to really be running your plays in practice with your offensive teammates, with the starters on your offense. You're not going to be running those plays unless your quarterback, you know, is injured and like needs a rest day, is limited in practice, that type of situation. Like a couple weeks ago when Lamar Jackson practiced, practiced in full, he was on the scout team and Tyler Huntley was taking those first team reps. But that doesn't even really equate because Tyler Huntley was going to start that Sunday. So that's not even a good example. Um Shedeur on this team as the backup quarterback is not going to take any first team reps. Any backup quarterback, the only if you take the NFL in 2025 and go through all the teams, the only backup quarterbacks that probably took any first team reps in season in the regular season during practice were probably Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck from the New Orleans Saints. Those probably were the only two because they're rookies. And their teams were obviously going to prepare them, try to develop them because they know that they were going to play later in the season. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, the Browns want to develop Shedeur. They want him to play later in the season, probably just to see what they have. And on your face, I would say that you're correct. But the problem is the Browns have two rookie quarterbacks, and Dylan was the one behind Flacco, probably getting a crumb of the first team reps in season. And now that he's the main guy, he's the main starter. He's a rookie. He needs all of those first team reps just as bad as Shador does. But he's the starter. He's going to get those first team reps. So all the complaining, I'm one of his biggest fans in Cleveland. I can promise you that. But what I won't do is be irrational. I I know how this works. He's not gonna get any first team reps unless it's a situation that's happening like this week and Dylan Gabriel is injured and can't practice. Now Shador is gonna take the first team reps and prepare to be the starter on Sunday. Otherwise, if Dylan Gabriel is playing and starting, he's going to take all those reps because he needs them too. He's a rookie quarterback, and for better or for worse, the coaching staff has determined that he's the guy that they're going to start, and they're going to put all their effort into coaching him as they see fit. So that's it on the first team reps thing. Him not getting any is normal. It's a normal occurrence. It's what I would expect to happen. That the NFL teams are. It doesn't look like it, but teams are trying to win, and they're trying to get their starting quarterback ready. And like you can name every quarterback. Like Tom Brady took every rep. Peyton Manning took every rep. I'm sure Michael Penix is down there taking every rep, even though he got Kirk Cousins behind him. all these different situations. Whoever is entrenched as the starter is going to be taking those first team reps again. Except I'm sure Jackson Dart was getting first team reps from Brian Dayball over Russell Wilson. Like I'm sure that those were split up. And, probably Tyler Shuck had his reps while Spencer Rattler was the starter. Other than that, 100% the starter. 100%. So please, I'm trying to do my part. Leave the first team reps argument alone. He 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 will get them this week. He's going to prepare to be the starter on Sunday, and we're going to see how it goes, see what happens, see how it looks. I pray that it's better than it was against the Ravens. I like to think that it will be, but you never know. He did make he did make a couple passes, one of them incomplete, one of them complete. The complete one to Harold Fannin on the last drive when he layered it over the coverage, and then this play that I got a video of.
There he goes again. Here we go. Interference.
He would have if that would have been complete. There's no roof on Cleveland Brown Stadium, but they would have blown the roof off of Cleveland Brown Stadium. There's no roof yet, but we would have came. Bleachers would have came down. Earthquake would have started if that was a complete pass and he threw a game tying touchdown pass. But it wasn't to be. I think, even with how bad it looked, I think he can, like, he is an NFL player. I mean, he's not, people are going to laugh at him and talk how they talk, but he belong, like, he can be on a roster. It's not like he's not supposed to be on an NFL roster. It was just his first opportunity to play against a veteran led defense in division on zero notice out of the blue, basically cold. So we'll see what he does against the Raiders. We'll see what he does against the Raiders coming up this week. Or, You know, I was at obviously I was at the game. I didn't see much of any of the other games. So, I don't have a real takeaway Tuesday for you. But I do wanna say one thing. Well, I want to shout out a couple of people. I want to shout out Miles Garrett and I want to shout out Carson Sweshinger. Miles Garrett, easily the best defensive player in football. Easily. He's unbelievable. And anything that I've said negative about Miles Garrett on this YouTube channel, on this podcast, I want to take it back. I take it back and I apologize. He can do whatever he sees fit, he can do. If he wants to complain about the offense, go ahead and complain. I he he is exactly who we think he is. He's that guy. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, defensive player of the year on on a terrible team, by the way. Like on a terrible team is still able, he's going to win that award. He has 15 sacks through 11 weeks. He's on pace for 25 and a half. The record's 22. So, shout out to Miles Garrett. Carson Schwessinger, I've I've held back. I've held my tongue because I didn't want to be hot takey and I didn't want to sound crazy, but this young man is Luke Kuechly reincarnated. He give me give me a linebacker in the league right now that you would take over him. An off-ball linebacker. So your Fred Warners, your Patrick Queens, your Roquan Smiths. Is there one you would take over Carson Schwessinger right now, today? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And he's a rookie. You know, it's too early. You can't say that. You can't bring up Luke Kuechly's name. I don't care. I don't care. He, he's by far going to be defensive player of the year. And I apologize because I picked Jahad Campbell to do it um, when Carson was right in front of me, and I knew he was right in front of me. So that's my bad. That's on me. But he's gonna be defensive rookie of the year easily. Um, at this point, if he stays healthy, probably gonna be an All Pro. If he's an All Pro right now, he's gonna rattle off 10 straight of these. Especially playing behind Miles Garrett, Mason Graham, Mike Hall back, got a sack. Playing with this team, he's going to be an all pro the next 10 years straight. And I said it on Twitter. Andrew Berry saved his job singularly because of Carson Schwessinger. Because of that pick was good enough to save his job. I don't think, also, I don't think it was really in jeopardy. I think Stefanski's might be because the offense just looks so terrible. But I think Andrew Berry like was gonna be around, but it's signed, sealed, stamped because of Carson Schwessinger. He like he made that pick. He got that player on this team. You get to stay around a couple more years because of that, and I think it's deserved because he's unbelievable, unbelievable. But that's all I want to say. It's a short episode today. I apologize. Kind of a somber tone because we've been waiting for Shedeur to get into the game all season. We knew it would happen at some point. Didn't know it would be because of a concussion in Dylan Gabriel. Hope he gets well soon. But it looks like Shedeur is going to play against the Raiders, and hopefully he prepares. He's going to take it seriously. He's going to work, but it's got to look better. It has to look miles better than what it looked like against the Ravens on Sunday. And that's all I got to say. So, thanks for watching. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe I'll see you for a film review. But until then, we'll see you.